a lot of the things that I hear from personal, like people saying it in the gym, from myself, my own self-talk, others close around us, and just, external environment in the workplace, in the world. The way people say things have a huge dictation on how they act or how they act towards the thing they're talking about. So that's what we're going to discuss a little bit about today. Izzy, we're going to ask you first. Let's go super personal. Let's go about internal first before then we externalize to the rest of the world. What is something that you currently struggle with that your self-talk or your self-dialogue is quite poor at and you're working to improve on?
Big question.
Yeah.
I feel like I needed like 48 hours to think about this. Let's just go the topic of like meeting a standard, I guess. Like being good enough in what you do, but so specifically like anything, if it's in the gym, like workplace, yeah. Am I doing good enough at all the things that I do?
Yeah. And then what's the kind of like, for people's context, what are the voices saying in your head? Let's say in the gym, let's say like you're doing a class workout and some of the normal members who are just like everyday guys are just passing you. Like, what are you telling yourself?
I mean, everyday guys at Unbound are a little bit different to everyday guys
They
at
are
some
pretty
other
fit.
gyms.
Yeah.
Usually I go to the classes on Tuesday just with everyday guys just to get humbled.
Yeah.
I definitely beat them in another workout, but today I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of an after thing. Like, I don't know, you're maybe not feeling that great or whatever, and then you do whatever capacity you have that day, and then afterwards it's like, oh, well, why did I fail that squat every day? Why did I fail that squat? Or why did I not go faster? It's usually like a post thing.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, why couldn't I do that unbroken? Or
And self-reflection is very important. Like being able to reflect on one's performance or one's current journey and be like, why is it that this is happening? And that's the reason why most people improve, right? Like, hey, like this isn't going well. Where am I going wrong? What can I do to get better at it? That's always a self question. But a lot of the time you'll hear from people, they'll specifically specify what is going wrong, and that's it. It's kind of like Ben Bergeron talks about this a lot, and it's pretty subtle and pretty small and insignificant, but carries big loads and big words. It's like someone being like, "Oh, it's so hot outside." Cool, bro. Like,
it's hot for everyone.
yeah, we're all hot. Or like, oh, it's raining again already. Yeah, we know that. Like, you can just be like, there's nothing wrong with saying or stating something, but then not applying anything to follow that is where there's something wrong. So if you're like, it's really hot outside, I'm going to go take my shirt off, or I'm going to go inside and cool down, that's fine. Like, you're stating something and then you're doing something about the said problem. But complaining for the sake of complaining is just negative on everyone. I learned something really, really important recently, which was there's like the terminology, you become your 5 heroes. Then it changed to the 5 people you surround yourself with. Normally, you'll become the 6. So if you're hanging out with 5 awesome go-getters, you'll become the 6. If you're hanging out with 5 drug addicts, you'll become the 6th. But what that doesn't specify is if in your group of 6, one person is letting the people down. Like, one person is negative, draining. Like, they're just like someone who always puts themselves or others down. All 5 other people will then drop a level because you have to come down and meet their standard. You don't go up and improve to try and better yourself. You can try, but that little nagging negativity is always going to bring your mood down. It's always going to drop performance. It's always going to do those things. So, like, that's a crazy concept to think about. So when we apply that to ourselves, like, is there anywhere in your life that you know that you've been that, oh, whoa, it's me person?
I mean, I definitely feel like I live with the ethos that everything is relative, like, oh, it's hot outside. Well, it was way hotter when I lived in Dubai.
Yeah.
Or, oh, it's raining. Well, it rains way more in New Zealand. Like, everything is relative. Like, it literally could usually always be worse. So I find that helps, like, keep things in perspective,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
That's a really good one. That's like James Smith always talks about, if you put all your problems in a barrel and you put it with everyone else's problems in the world, like how quickly you would take your problems back. Like your first world problems are probably not that bad. Like, oh my God, another bill came out, I got to pay it. Oh my God, I got stuck in traffic 2 hours to work today. That sucked. I didn't get to go to the gym. Like, there's people out there who walk around with one leg, one arm. Their house gets bombed every day by, mortars, or like they're in a constant war, famine, disease, so much turmoil going on. And you're like, oh, I didn't make it to the gym today. Like, sure, that's the kind of mindset you're applying. You're like, hey, like I've been through worse. This isn't so bad. And
yeah, like relativity to yourself
Yeah.
versus like relativity to other people. Because if saying it's relative to someone who's in a worse situation, it's harder to understand. But like, for example, like an injury, I didn't used to be able to train, so now I get the opportunity to train. Like,
Yeah.
rather than being like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym today, it's like, well, I actually couldn't do this last year or whatever.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, you feel those feelings that you attached with that thing, and you don't want to be that anymore. And it just puts it in perspective in a way that you like feel it, rather than if it's someone else, you don't know what that feels like to
Yeah.
be in that bad position.
Exactly. And that's like, you're basically saying like, hey, my perspective is like, I used to be worse. Now I'm better.
Yeah,
Like, I can't complain about my current circumstances because they have been worse. And that's a good mindset to have. But what about when you were in that position? Let's say like your back was really bad and you couldn't do all the things. Like, what was the kind of voices going on in your head? Like, what were the things you were telling yourself, and how did you overcome that? What was the way that you got to get out of that hole of, oh woe me, my back is sore, to now, oh wow, it used to be so much worse?
I guess I always think about, like, I try to not complain about something unless I'm doing something about it. So rather than like, oh, my back's sore, but I'm not doing anything about it, it's like, I'm really upset about this thing, so what are we going to do about it? I feel like it's always, if I have something like that, it's like, what's the game plan? So there was no part during my back injury that I didn't know what to do. Like, I had a really good coach. I was seeing the physio all the time. I did go to the sports doctor when I could finally get in. I got an MRI. I was on steroid anti-inflammatories. Like, there was always a game plan.
Yeah.
And I find, if people complain about something, my brain's just like, well, what are you doing about it?
That's it. And that's what we were talking about the other day, where it's like, is it a complaint if you've got a response? Like I said, it's hot outside. I'm going to go inside and cool off. So you're like, my back is sore. You're venting. It's a vent now. It's more like, I just need to get this off my chest. Like, it's really hurting right now, but I'm going to go do those exercises that was programmed for me, or I'm going to make sure, like, oh, I might call it there today for training. I don't want to worsen it, or like there's a response to it. And I feel like that's positive, because that's not draining other people. Because when you put that burden on others, oh, my back's really sore, you're waiting for them to comfort you. Like, you're waiting for them to tell you everything's going to be okay. Like, everything's going to turn out all right. Like, but like, it's not, like, because you're now like, you're projecting your negativity on others, which brings the group or the collective down. And we're all like, everyone is responsible for it too. Like, I use myself as an example, and I've somehow, I didn't even do this. In my group of little athletes, we've created this environment where that's unacceptable. And I didn't even start this. It came from Tristan, actually. Tristan's
Hashtag Team Tyler doesn't complain.
doesn't complain. Yeah, we're not allowed to. Like, Tristan's, I started it. I started the complaining because I was like, oh, it was one day I was just like, oh, like, I'm just like I just don't feel very good. Like, I don't feel very good. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to get this from my bench. And he's just like, cut that out. He's like, we don't talk like that.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
We don't. And I'm like, oh shit, like, he just held me accountable. He was like, hey, we don't do that here. You need to, and he came to me and he said to me one day, he's like, we need to improve your mindset around bench press.
Wow.
And he's just like, we need to, whatever we're doing, we need to improve it. This was maybe close to the end of last year. Like, there was the point where I would compete and I used to sandbag my bench press because I was just like not interested in it at all. I was
in
like,
your head.
yeah, it was all like, I mean, and like, compared to the field that I was traversing, like, I was still going last in bench, which means I was the strongest athlete. But in the comparison of my own like accomplishments, my squat and deadlift were like going up. Bench never really moved. But did it really move because I wasn't putting in the work? That's definitely not the case. I was benching a lot. it definitely wasn't moving because of the way I was thinking about it.
Mm.
Because I wasn't enjoying it or passionate about it, there was just no effort being put in. And that's what one of my mentors, Sebastian Orleb, said on one of his Instagram posts. He's like, to be an expert at anything, you need to combine effort and passion times 10 years. So it's like, if you want to be great at something, like you need to love what you're doing and you need to put intensity into it. He's like, you can love what you're doing, but not try. You can also put a lot of effort in, which was what I was doing, but I had no passion behind it. Like I didn't want to go for that extra set. I didn't want to go for that heavy set of 3 just for like a bit of fun with the boys. I just disliked it. Like the setup felt clunky. It didn't feel nice. So when Tristan and I sat down and we spoke about it, we spoke about how we could improve it. What did I do next? Kind of like what you said, where I went to my coach and was like, hey, let's do a one-on-one session. I want to improve my bench press. I want to get better at this. And she sat down with me and looked at my technique, and she was like, look, we could improve these areas. This is the points that we're struggling at. This is where we could go better. I know all this stuff, but I wasn't applying it to my own self. And it's good to have someone else to be like, hey, you're not doing the best you could. So then applying those stuff, we changed the mindset around the movement, and it wasn't now, oh, it's bench press, I suck at this. It's now, Thick Tyler loves bench. That is literally the slogan we use. Thick Tyler loves bench. And ever since then, like, it's been not only has it been a priority, it's actually something I went to my coach and was like, hey, I want to get 180 kilos on the bench. I want to get it by 2 years' time.
I want to bench more than Michael Roll squats.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. 108. That's why that number is chosen there specifically.
181.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's the mindset shift, and all it started was from someone holding me accountable. Because the way I viewed bench press was, I suck at this. This is my worst lift. But now it's like, hey, like, I have an opportunity to progress, and like I find with anything that you suck at, it's almost the most rewarding because there's so much room for improvement. Whereas if you're already great at something, like the room of improvement is obviously lower. You get punished more because you'll generally push to failure quite a bit more, and you're going to have a lot more worse days. So it's like, because you're already so good at it, the ceiling is so low, like so high. Sorry, whereas the ceiling is so much lower on something that you're so bad at. So that's just an interesting perspective. What about from yourself, Izzy? Like, what about other people? What are some of the things, even in the gym environment, that you've heard recently that you've been like, oh, that's probably not how you should be speaking about yourself?
Well, I guess just like kind of similar to what you were saying about like movements you don't like you said, you don't like bench, but it took someone calling you out and then you working on it because you sort of had to be in competition. But like, if you don't like something and then you talk about it like that, you're never going to get better at it. Like, I don't like this thing, I'm not going to do this thing, and then you avoid it, and then you don't like it even more. So I guess, like, specifically in the gym, like, if you avoid things you don't like, obviously you're never going to get better at it, but just your language around that as well
makes a big difference. And that's why I mean, like, your thoughts become your words become your actions are the way that you dictate your life. So like, and then you have confirmation bias, right? Every time you do something, let's say you suck at running, every time you run, your calves hurt. Oh, I knew this was a bad idea, right? Like, it's a confirmation bias. Whereas it's the other way around, maybe because you don't run very often, your calves hurt, right? Like, it's just how you view the same thing. It's just like, that's a positive. Like, oh, I just need to run more and then my calves will get stronger. Or maybe I need to work on my calves a bit more and then run with that. Like, it's just, but like, that's what Michael always says. It's a great one, where it's like, if you avoid running, you're going to be still bad at running. So if you're going to, like, you should still run, maybe you'll reduce the distance. So make the distance, or like the end point, not so far. Whereas if it's like, oh, I don't like running, let's do an 800. Maybe it's not a great place to start. Maybe go 400. And the next week you go 600.
Like, you have to have a game plan and change something. Otherwise, like they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Like, if you don't like something and say it's a max day, and you know that your max out is going to be terrible because you don't like it, it's not, say, a good lift, for example. However, you could just get your ego out of the door, do some lighter, better reps, get good quality reps, and that's always going to be better than maxing out and failing.
Yeah.
But you have to change something, you know. You're like, I'm not good at this, so I'm going to say strip back the weight, or like you said with running, strip back the volume. If your mindset is already negative around it, doing the same thing isn't going to help.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you just, you know, you just keep going in the same direction, and it's like, well, why isn't this getting any better? Like, why do I still suck at this? You know what I mean? And then, like, you see people start and they get better than you, but it's like it's so crazy how strong the mind can be compared to the body. Like, how much our mind dictates what we do is just next to none versus like how we feel. Like, you might feel like a bag of shit, right? You come into the gym. I've PB'd on bags of shit days, right? Like, out of nowhere, or like there's an example where when we're doing the Unbound Unleashed comp and there's an intermission and the boys came up like, oh, you want to come bench with me? Randomly, like, we've done 6 hours of work already, and I have not been eating, or like, you know, I didn't sleep very well the night before. Like, I'm not in the best position, but I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. I still haven't beaten that 2RM that I did that day. I still haven't. And it was purely just like, might have just been because I was like in the headspace for it. I was like, yeah, let's go down and do it. Because things have been a little bit more positive around it. Like, everything just kind of stuck nicely. And like, I've been in the gym the last couple of weeks. I haven't been able to get close to that day. But like, that day wasn't perfect. That day wasn't like your like stars aligning.
But what day is perfect?
That's
Some
what I
days
mean.
you feel good, and then you like do one thing and you're like, actually I don't feel good.
No,
And like
yeah.
vice versa. You
Yeah.
actually don't know. And it actually doesn't matter how you feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you just go and get the reps, and it's still going to add up more than not.
That's it. And it's like, that's why the rule of thirds is so important. Like, they say, like, what, 66% of the time, you're going to have an average or poor session. Like, average or poor. So, like, 2/3 of your training is going to suck. Like, or it's going to be just normal, like a placid level. So everyone's chasing those good feelings of like, wow, that one session I did 3 weeks ago, everything came together. Like, it's just like, you know, it's a 1 in 3 chance. Like, you're not just spinning, like flipping a coin. You're like literally just like, okay, like maybe not today. You know what I mean? But then they're the sessions where you strip back the weight, work on the technique. There's elements and parts of the session that you can still focus on, that can see an adaptation in the particular thing you're working on. Let's translate back to bench. If I'm feeling weak, doesn't mean I can't bench. It means I can focus on setup a little bit more, focus on foot position. Think about activation points. Maybe go learn something about it. Like, hey, like I worked out a few weeks ago that actually squeezing the bar is more beneficial than just like hanging on to it. Most people don't like actually think about what their hands are doing in the bench. Whereas like if you clamp down and try and imprint your hand into the barbell, it increases forearm activation, which increases neurodrive. It's so dumb because you're so focused on like what your legs are doing and how you're setting up and actually how the bar's moving. You're not thinking about what your hands are doing.
Yeah.
You're just holding on to the bar. So that's just things that like I learned because one of the days I just wasn't feeling as good. So I was like, I'm just going to do it, and then I'm just going to like sit on TikTok and watch bench TikToks. That's literally what I did, and like it just improved that mindset throughout. But any final points from you, Izzy, about how we view ourselves? What is something that you could give the viewers they can take home for today that will help drastically improve those things that they suck at?
Do you want to answer the question that I answered at the start of like what you feel internally you're struggling with?
Yeah, okay. I like that. I guess like a big one is we have, this is something that some people will know, most people don't, and I'm really putting Tamara on the pedestal here because I accepted, or I suggested that we should do the Unbound team of fours. Myself, Izzy, Tamara, and Alex.
Let's go.
Right? So RX team of fours. And obviously Tamara was very nervous about this. And I'm not throwing her under the bus. Like, this isn't about her. It's actually about me. But for her, like, the reason I put that date is to give her something to push towards. So to get her muscle ups, right? To get her first muscle up, she's pretty close. So that's a good date to push towards. And then clean up some of these skills. Because if you have nothing to aim at, there's no point of pushing that work any further. Like, if you suck at something, you're more likely to get it, like, make you unsuck at it or get better at it quicker if there's something.
Especially when you're in a team or like competing against people, like other people put it into perspective for you.
You don't want to let them down too.
Yeah.
You don't. I don't want to let down Izzy in the double unders or like the box jump overs because I haven't been practicing. So that's coming up, and one of the big things that showed me is like every time I've done the Unbound Unleashed, I've always podiumed. I've done it like that many times over the last 10 years. It's almost like a free win for me when I come here. So now
We get it. Big
it's
dog.
but it's now swapped, right? It's now swapped where no longer am I focusing on conditioning. No longer am I working on those things. So from my perspective, it's like, oh, like I'm going to be the team let down, like from a conditioning standpoint. So like I need to start doing these things. So in my head, I'm like, oh, you're not as good as you used to be. You used to kill this. You used to be so much fitter. And like I've had that internal argument many times, but it's like, but that's not my goals anymore. Like, and for me, I'm like, I just want to be fit enough that I can keep up with tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that we can have a great experience together and we can enjoy our time and we can make sure that Izzy and Alex don't feel like I'm just like, oh, Ty's still on the bike. Like we're the last team looking around. Like I'm not planning, like we're not going out to win, but I don't want to come last. So I want to be good enough that we can hold on and like throw down and do all the workouts. So like for me, like that's something that I've had to be like continually remind myself is like the goal isn't the same. Like I'm not here to make Down Under or Torian. Like I'm here just to have fun with my partner and get her to have a very positive experience with the very first RX comp. So I'm like, that's my role in this. So I hope that clears everything up. But I think that's a good spot to leave it. I think we'll leave it there at episode 6, how we view ourselves. If you guys are struggling with how you view yourselves and want some accountability, don't hesitate to reach us out on Instagram, Unbound Athletic, or send us an email. Is it team@unboundathletic.com.au, and we'll be able to help you out, keep you accountable.